Yes, guys, welcome back to the Fancy Football Social Extra. Bit of a mouthful, but we love it. Why? Well, because we pick a topic each week. Last week, it was Ronaldo. This week, it's going to be the Champions League. So we pick a topic, we discuss it with you guys. So it's Champions League week. We want to show you some of the teams that are fancied by the bookies. So we're going to show you now a list of all the teams that are ranked at the top for the bookies. So PSG are favourites. Then we have Man City, Bayern, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Real Madrid at 14-1, Atletico at 22-1, Barcelona, Juventus, Dortmund at 25, Inter at 50, and Atalanta at 66-1. These are odds from Paddy Power as of Sunday night. We're going to talk about those teams. We're going to give 2 minutes treatment to each of them. Look, we don't need to talk about Premier League teams with you. You know these guys inside out. Perhaps you don't know the likes of Atalanta too well or Atletico Madrid. So we're going to give you a couple of minutes on all these teams. Starting at the top with the joint favourites, Ed. PSG. Why are they joint favourites?
They're joint favourites because they've done what I do on Football Manager, which is where you just you try and approach to sign them at the end of their contract for free, and you get these incredible players but on massive wages. So they've got Messi, Ramos, Donnarumma, Hakimi. I mean, that's I mean,
Wijnaldum. They got Wijnaldum on a free as well.
Wijnaldum is on a free as well. I mean, if it goes anything like it does on Football Manager for me, it won't work.
Well, we saw last season with Poch, he didn't win the league and he had a star-studded team then. Of course, he does have Messi, and we can't forget Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria in the team also. That is some firepower. But will they click? Is it a team full of Galacticos that perhaps won't click? The beauty for PSG, Ed, is, I mean, they have got Man City in the group, by the way, which is a fascinating group. Who finishes top? You expect those two, of course, to qualify. But the beauty PSG have is, ahead of a Champions League game, they can probably rest a few key men in the French league in Liga, and therefore the guys are fresh, ready for the midweek games. But what do you reckon? Do you think they've got? I mean, we'll talk about it at the end of the show. We'll both name our team we think is going to win it, and our teams sort of that are long shots. But PSG, do you think they deserve to be joint favourites?
No.
I don't.
No, I actually wouldn't put PSG or Man City as joint favourites because none of them can flipping win it, even if they spend bucket loads of money every season. They can't do it, right? Man City last season had the chance to do it against Chelsea. No, we're not talking about them. PSG had the chance. They just bottle it. So there needs to be a moment. Maybe it is this season. There needs to be a moment where they break through, and maybe it's going to be one of those two this year. I wouldn't back them.
And just to give you guys a little bit of sort of info on their signings, we obviously mentioned the firepower up front, and we all know about Messi, but they've strengthened massively at the back. Donnarumma comes in goal. You guys remember him from the Euros. He's actually been benched quite a bit, and Navas has been the number one, but I'm sure Donnarumma eventually will become the number one, probably this season. They've added Hakimi. To me, he's the world's best wing back. He plays right wing back. He's just electric. He was the fastest player in Serie A last season. He's so good going forward. Not great defensively, but PSG don't have to defend much.
Sounds similar to Jacob Murphy, really.
Yeah. And then they've got Gigi Wijnaldum. They've obviously bought, and Ramos. You can't forget Ramos as well, to partner Kimpembe at the back. It's just a star-studded lineup. But yeah, it's going to be intriguing to see how they get on. I cannot wait for PSG versus Man City. So we've spoken about the favourites. We're not going to talk about English teams in this. So let's go down to the third favourite, and that is Bayern Munich. 7-1, Ed. I mean, these guys have got a real chance. They've strengthened this summer as well, as they do every year. They've mopped up the best talent in the Bundesliga and got Upamecano there and Sabitzer, two brilliant players added to that squad. It's going to be good.
Yes, it's going to be good. I mean, the ultimate thing that you've missed out, they're Germans. So, I mean, they know how to win. They're the opposite of PSG and City in my eyes. They buy players cleverly and they're not stupid with money. They're not like flipping Pep Guardiola, who spends $1 billion on left backs and right backs, and they all just leave a few years later. They're not PSG, who just buy anyone who's free, who's going to cost, and whatever they ask for, they're going to get. They're clever with their signings. They're Germans. They know how to win, and they are my favourites for this year.
Oh, love that. Okay, there we go. 7-1. I mean, new manager in as well, don't forget. But look, Lewandowski at his age is still banging him in. So where they've strengthened, they've got Lewandowski. Oh, it's just, Sane can't get in the team. I fancy Bayern as well.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about
age nowadays is just in football. It's completely changed from when we are. I mean, look at Ronaldo, look at Zlatan, look at Messi. Even is getting a bit old. Look at How old's Lewandowski now? I don't even know.
34-ish, I think. I'd say 34.
They are still the best players in the world. Look at Ronaldo again. People say, "Well, he's going to come to the Premier League. It's too fast. It's too physical." I know it's Newcastle, but still, like he was clocked going 20 miles an hour, 21 miles an hour, or something yesterday on Match of the Day. And the age has completely changed. You know, we used to get. Shearer, I used to remember him, my hero. When he was 36, I was amazed that he got 10, 12 goals in his last season or whatever. And, he'd lumber around and win a head every now and again. Yeah, Shearer. Now, these mid 30-year-old players, it's like they're in their 20s.
You make a very good point, Ed, and thank you for touching on two Premier League examples in our Champions League, non-Premier League chat. Alan Shearer, of course, had to get a mention, and Ronaldo. So let's get back on. We're going to ignore Chelsea. We're going to ignore Liverpool. Chelsea at 15-2. Disrespectful, by the way. The current holders at fourth favourites, and they've improved with Lukaku. Liverpool 9-1. That seems about right. How United are at 12-1. I do not know with their manager.
Honestly, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, United at 12-1 is where the money is, I think.
So that's your top six. I actually think United should be longer odds, but we're not going to talk about them. Real Madrid, the seventh favourites, 14-1 Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti is back, and he's playing the likes of Gareth Bale. They're getting in the starting 11. Isco, he's out from the cold. He's in the 11, who I absolutely love. They haven't really strengthened. They bought Camavinga this year, who I don't know if he's going to go straight into the team. Young central midfielder, known as one of the best talents in France. How they got him for 30 million-ish, I don't know. He's going to be an absolute worldie. Hazard still hasn't turned it on, though, Ed. We saw glimpses for Belgium the other day. He looked pretty bright. But for Real Madrid to win the Champions League, looking at their current 11, if you take Hazard out of that 11, he's often injured. If you put Hazard in and a fully fit, firing Hazard that we saw at Chelsea, maybe they got a chance. But without that, they're just lacking something for me. Even with Benzema and Bale and Isco.
Yeah, Benzema would have to have another top season. And Hazard, you'd need to see more than glimpses, because all they've seen is glimpses. Like you've put here, glimpses for Belgium. Well, Real Madrid have only seen glimpses. He's always injured. I mean, was he like that at Chelsea? He was injured a bit, wasn't he? But he would play seasons.
He had a few injuries, but he had some really good seasons where he clocked big numbers, and we know he's got that potential. So it's going to be interesting to see what Real Madrid do. They've obviously lost their captain, Ramos. Ronaldo obviously left a few years ago, but they perhaps don't have the star names that we've used to associate with Real Madrid. Remember the Galacticos when you had Zidane, Figo, Beckham, Kaká, Raul,
Guti.
Carlos.
Guti.
Big names. I loved. Yeah, the soccer AM. Guti. Yeah. Let's stay in Spain, though, because after Real Madrid at 22-1, we got two other Spanish teams. So we got Real Madrid at 14, Atletico at 22, and Barcelona at 22. Let's speak first about Atletico. They're perhaps the team that should be the most solid, because Diego Simeone's been there for a long time now. The 11's not that unsettled. They're bringing their big name in Griezmann back. He's, of course, gone back from Barcelona to Atletico on loan with an option, I think it is. They've also strengthened with one of the best players from Serie A in recent seasons, and that was Udinese's Rodrigo de Paul, the Argentinian, starred for Argentina this summer in the Copa America. He'll add a huge amount of strength to that team with Griezmann. They will be solid, but they are in the group of death, Ed. In Atletico's group, which is why I don't fancy them, because I can't even say they're going to qualify. They've got AC Milan, they've got Liverpool, and they got Porto. That's the toughest group out there.
Yeah, but Atletico Madrid will do what they do. They'll start the group stage by getting a couple of 0-0 draws. They'll then go 1-1. Then they might nick 1-0, and they'll win the last one 3-1, and then they'll go through.
Yeah, and we saw them knock Liverpool out. Was it the season before last? They knocked Liverpool out in the knockout stages. So we know they can beat Liverpool. So that'll be a really interesting two-legged tie.
They're just so solid, aren't they? So solid at the back. Their signings the last couple of years have been brilliant. Getting Suarez in on a free, getting Griezmann back after he's basically gone and bankrupted Barcelona and then come back, sort of thing. It's just again a clever, well-run football club. They were their new stadium and everything in the last few seasons, whatever it was.
The Wonder.
I like them.
Wonder Metropolitano.
It's the Metropolitano. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's the one. I think one thing I can say about Atletico, and we love watching Champions League football. If you're watching this show, I'm guessing your Tuesday and Wednesday night is going to be fairly busy this side of Christmas. One thing I can guarantee with Atletico, they're not fun to watch. They are like the worst examples of Jose Mourinho teams. They're boring.
Look,
They're part of the bus.
Hey! People who listen to this podcast need to know I'm a Jose fan, and it depends what sort of football you like to watch. There are people out there, I'm not quite this, but who love to watch Atletico because they tactically, defensively, they are just a masterpiece. And other teams will probably study Atletico Madrid on their defensive play. And if you like that sort of thing, if that's how you get your kicks, then don't let Gianni judge you guys.
We've got about 5 minutes left. We're going to rattle through the last few. Also at 22-1, we said Barcelona. Now, I was going to wear the Barcelona shirt behind me for podcast listeners for this very show, but then I thought, no, not allowed to wear other team jerseys. I got told off.
Yeah, and I was going to wear my green check rather than my blue, but I went for the blue.
So what do we think? We got Ronald Koeman at Barca. He's not had the best time. He's lost his boy Messi. They've obviously lost Griezmann, and they replaced Griezmann, which is quite funny, with Luc de Jong, who can't get in the Seville team. I'm not suggesting he's going to get in the Barca team. He's a squad man. He's a different style of player. If you need to go long ball, he's a target man. But they've not had the best transfer window. They did bring in Memphis Depay, though, who, by the way, has started the season on fire. He is carrying that Barca team. But other than Depay, they look absolutely pony for me. I actually think 22-1 is quite short. I'd want better than that. What do you reckon, Ed?
Barcelona have been slowly sort of not dying as a football club, but from their glorious period under Guardiola and a little bit beyond, they've just been slowly declining, haven't they? Bankrupt, poorly run, slightly arrogant for a period, I felt personally.
Yeah. They got rid of the likes of Suarez. Like, what are they doing?
I just think, slightly arrogant, and just I don't really like Koeman from his time at Everton. I thought he was just the most arrogant manager who was just rubbish. So I'm not a big Barcelona fan. I never have. Well, you couldn't not be for a period, but no, I wouldn't put money on them to win the Champions League. No way.
I mean, I feel like I might be wrong. Koeman did, from memory, well at Southampton, but then got sacked at Everton. I'm pretty sure he was sacked. You're getting sacked from Everton, and then not long after, you're getting the Barcelona gig. Like, something's wrong there. I know he played. If he hadn't played for him.
And he spent a fortune at Everton, and wasn't he the one who bought like 8 attacking midfielders or something?
He probably bought
Klaassen, Sigurdsson, others. But lots. Did he bring Rooney back, or was that someone else? Was that? Yeah, I can't remember. No, that was Martinez. Oh, I'm getting confused now. I should stop talking. But anyway, he wasn't good at Everton is the point.
Yeah, neither was Martinez. Let's go there. Let's talk about, look, we've not focused on Italian teams, which I'm gutted about, because this is what I wanted to spend the majority of the video talking about. But unfortunately, the odds are further out on the Italian team. So at 25-1, the first one mentioned, we've got Juve. They've had a terrible start to the season. They lost to Empoli on the opening day. They lost this weekend to Napoli. Allegri is back, though, and with Allegri definitely comes hope. He was brilliant before he left. He's had a lot of time out. This will be the Barla's Juventus. Chiellini was quoted over the weekend saying, we lost Ronaldo. It's a big deal, but we will move on. That was Ronaldo's Juve. This will be Dybala's Juve. And Dybala, when he's on song, and we know he has been on song for Allegri in the past, and he's been quiet in the last couple of years, he will be tremendous. And they've bought Locatelli, who you lot will remember from the Euros, I hope, from Sassuolo. I just think Juve, they're in a group with Chelsea. I hope they come second in that group. I don't want them to, of course, beat Chelsea, but I think they'll give them a good game. But I think Juve have got a chance. I think they've got an outside chance because of Allegri. He got to the final last time he was in charge.
It's quite satisfying, though, isn't it? They're like, oh, we're a better unit under Ronaldo, without Ronaldo. Oh, we don't need Ronaldo. He goes and they lose the first 2 games or whatever. Although clearly long-term, getting rid of Ronaldo for financial reasons and everything was probably the right move. But, Ronaldo, what a guy. Love him.
Yeah.
Well, him personally, probably I don't love for many reasons, but as a football player, love him.
Yeah, that's fair. You don't have to. Yeah. Dortmund 25-1, same odds as Juve. If they didn't have Haaland, they'd be at 66-1. But
these are my outsiders. I love Haaland. I love Dortmund. I love Bellingham. I love all of them. I love Sancho, but he's gone obviously. But these are my outsiders. They're going to win.
I tell you what, one thing we can bet on is they will absolutely finish top of the group. They will qualify. They've got a really easy group. We like the sound of that. Bellingham, Haaland, nice combo. They've obviously lost Sancho and haven't necessarily replaced him like for like, but they'll have a chance because they have got the world's one of the world's best forwards, if not the best young forward in the game, who is a robot. The guy's a machine. He was made in a laboratory somewhere.
He is he's like an alien. He looks like an alien. He runs like an alien. He plays like an alien. In 92 games for Salzburg and Dortmund, how many goals do you think he's got? 94.
Ridiculous.
He's 21 years old. He's from another planet.
Yeah, he really is. He's just sensational. Wherever he goes next, if he goes Real Madrid or Man City, wherever he goes, I just feel like that club have completed it. Like
Newcastle United needs
you've broken records before for a number 9 in 96 for Shearer, so who knows?
This is what we've been waiting for. I can just imagine Almiron running around behind him like a headless chicken, and Sam Maximan skinning players and then losing the ball, and Jacob Murphy putting it on his. Yeah, let's move on.
What I would say about Dortmund, guys, whilst they've got a very easy group, don't forget, like we expect with Dortmund, they're rubbish defensively. They will concede goals. Saying that, they've got some good defenders. Let's move on now. After 25-1, Dortmund all the way along 50-1 Inter Milan. If Inter Milan still had Hakimi, if they still had Lukaku, and if they still had Conte, they would be, I reckon they'd be between 8 and 10-1. They would have a real shot. But actually now they've traded Conte with Inzaghi. They've traded
Lukaku with
Dzeko. I mean, I know we're saying about old strikers, but they're actually not starting Dzeko as you might expect. Like he's on the bench, and Lautaro Martinez will lead the line. He was in a front two with Lukaku. He scored a brilliant goal at the weekend. Barella fed him. Barella, what a player he is. We remember him from the Euros. They've still got some good players. I'm just not sure if Inzaghi's up to the job for Champions League football. We've never seen him do it in the Champions League. So one to monitor. They're in a group with Shakhtar and Real Madrid. So even getting out the group isn't a gimme. You know, Shakhtar can turn it on in the champs. And then at 66-1, we're going to just touch on one of my favourite teams because they play the sexiest football in Europe for me. That is Gasparini's Atalanta. What a team they are. I just love Atalanta, Ed. What do you reckon? I mean,
they were the team of everyone in the Euros that I had in my team. I'd be like, oh, who's this guy? Who's he play for? Yeah. There was always seemed to be Atalanta. Mela, Gosens, the two wing backs, Malinowski.
Palisic, loads of them. Yeah. Loads of those players that play for like good European teams, but not the sort of tier 1 European teams. You go, oh yeah, the Danish guy or the Ukrainian guy or the Swedish guy, and all their best players. And Gosens, who was obviously playing for Germany, we saw what he can do. They play with wing backs. That's so exciting. Zapata up top's a beast. He's similar to Lukaku. And actually, Inter did want to get him to replace Lukaku, but Atalanta wouldn't sell. 66-1. They're in United's group, which also has Villarreal in. So again, it's not the easiest group, but there's no standout team in that group. I think they could either win it or come third. It's going to be drama. We will see goals. So guys, if you're choosing what teams to watch, keep an eye on United, Atalanta, Villarreal. These will be brilliant, high-scoring games, I think. They do have a few injuries, though, which is annoying.
I just wanted to share because I know a lot of our listeners will play fantasy football, obviously, and they'll play Champions League fantasy football. I know you're not going to watch it, Gianni, because you actually want to enjoy watching Champions League. I actually played. I just want to share this because I actually played the game last season, and I finished 800th in the world out of 1 million people.
Expert.
Did you know that? I mean, it was complete luck. Pretty much. I mean, it was all right. It was quite good. And then in the final, I knew Chelsea were going to win and not concede. So you could make as many chances as you want. I just put 5 Chelsea at the back or something, 6.
Oh, I love that. You went big.
Yeah. I went big, and I just went from like 8K to 800 in the world because everyone thought City were going to walk.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Okay, so we'll round up. Just the only negative to Atalanta, by the way, I mentioned they've had a few injuries. Muriel up top is injured. He's a big miss, the Colombian forward, and Zapata also Colombian. But they also have had a dreadful start in Serie A, not the best start. So a bit like Juve, they've struggled. But we have a minute left. We're both going to pick the team we think will win, and then the outside shot we would put money, like a couple of quid on. So Ed, I'll come to you first. Who's your outside bet and who's your winner?
Outside bet, Dortmund. I just think Haaland, no matter what arena he's playing in, he was the fastest Champions League player ever, I think, to get to 20 goals. It doesn't matter who he's playing. He's unbelievable. So if they keep him fit, which he doesn't ever seem to be injured, I think they've got an outside chance. They've got a good group. Once you're in the knockout stages, you've got Haaland. So, and Bellingham is playing brilliantly. They won 7-0 the other day or something. 7-2. Yeah. Haaland got another 2. So yeah, they're my outside ones. And then who do I think are actually going to win? Bayern Munich.
I'm torn on my outside bets. 2 Italian teams, Atalanta at 66. I don't think they'll win, but I think they could have a really good run. So I'm going to go Juve at 25-1 because it's Allegri. And Allegri has got to finals, and it's Chiellini, and it's Bonucci, and it's Chiesa. There is a lot of talent there that have been there and done it in finals as recently as a couple of months ago. Come on. And the team I'm going to go to win it is actually my team, Chelsea, 15-2. The fourth favourites. I think they are the champions, and they now have Lukaku. Anyway,
yeah,
guys, let us know if you like these videos. Go on, Ed.
Yeah.
Last word from you.
Well, it's just I wish I was a Chelsea fan or someone better than Newcastle. It was so boring. I remember I used to watch Newcastle. We've got to finish, but I used to watch Newcastle in the Champions League. We were in the Champions League quite a lot in my
Asprilla. I remember growing up watching Asprilla and midweek.
Beating Barcelona 3-2 at St James's Park. Asprilla hat-trick. Even after that, in the Bobby Robson years, we're the only club ever to have lost the first 3 games of a group stage and still gone through. I think that's still true. The only club ever. We drew with Feyenoord 2-2, or beat them 3-2 on the just to go through in the last day. So yada yada yada. I remember us the next season qualifying for the UEFA Cup and then being like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss the music for the Champions League. If only I could hear the music for the UEFA Cup now, or any sort of music." There's no music playing on Tyneside. Let's end.
There's loads playing in my house. I'll be watching the Serie A teams in Chelsea very, very closely. Let us know in the comments who you're supporting, who's your outside tip, who you're backing to win, who you think should be favourites. So please do like, subscribe, and give us any feedback on these videos. Thank you very much for listening, for watching, and we'll see you for another Fantasy Football Social Extra very, very soon. Cheers, guys.